pictures, guys. Like, seriously. To think that I have prepared for a date like this for weeks and still wake up on a day like this feeling this way. And I'm like, it looks and feels all too familiar. It reminds me very quickly of the 24th of November 2014 when I was to resume a lunch hour talk show on NTA2 Lagos. And you would think that I was Oprah Winfrey. I couldn't sleep. I remember putting a meal together and sending to my boyfriend, now my husband, and telling him how happy, how excited I was, and how it felt like destiny was being fulfilled. Well, today, I also feel like destiny is being fulfilled, and it sort of tells me that destiny might not be a spot, but a journey. And so, on this note, I'd like to say, you're welcome to my cup of tea. You're welcome to the set of My Cup of Tea. Today, I have Timothy Adepoju. He shares with me the story of his life, walking through the fire and deciding to choose life in spite of the situations that had claimed the lives of 3 members of his family in a day. Timothy Adepoju would determine what the course of life would be for him, whether to stay in the fire for death or to take a brand new turn by walking through the fire and choosing life. Timothy is on the program today to share with me the events that would eventually shape his life. Welcome with me, Timothy, on the program today. Hello.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be on this program. My cup of tea.
Yeah, right.
And have a good day.
Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. And I am excited to have you. So you have gloriously become my first guest today, and it goes down in history. Apparently because when I first met you and came across your story, there are a lot of resonance, all right, with all that you said and a number of things that I might have gone through in life, only that you went through it differently. And so I thought, how can somebody still be sane and normal having gone through all of this? So they say it's sweeter when we hear it from the horse's mouth. So I'm going to say that the baton is over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. As you earlier said, it was on the 30th February, on a Monday, that there was this religious crisis that happened in Manchester. It was as a result of this Danish cartoon, Prophet Muhammad cartoon saga, which happened on the 19th of February in my baby, and we are watching it how the other people were showing in my baby. My mom was seated, my favorite channel was CNN, and she was watching how they were showing houses and people that were being killed in the state. My baby. We never knew that the following day, the 20th, was going to be the triumph of Baptist State. Unfortunately, it was a day which never existed in the calendar. But I thank God today I'm here to share my story. And this is what happened. On that fateful day, 20th February, at around 2 p.m., we just heard the shout of chanting, young boys outside chanting Allah Akbar and all of that, throwing stone at our house, and the roof and all of that, banging on the gates, and before we know it, the entrance of the house, and what they were just shouting is, okay, you Christians, you Northerners, and you Southerners in the North Triade, we have come to kill you, we are going to eliminate everybody, and before you they started macheting everybody, and the room we entered to get ourselves hidden in a small room, we eventually broke in, and my kid sister that was by the door side was the first person they caught this slash into tree or so. And they matched her head into tree. She died instantly there. That's how they started macheting everybody, cutting. And my mom, when she heard that I screamed, oh, when you cut my head, she looked up, and when she looked up, they cut her face. That's how they matched everyone, and we're all in the pool of blood there. They thought we're all dead, and the next thing they did was to climb the roof, pour petrol, and set the house on fire. Unfortunately, that day, because our house is big, we have a bakery, and there was a production going on, so we had to abandon the bakery side. But unfortunately, that was where they ended up putting my mom in the oven where she got roasted and put to. So it was the gory story, but I thank God that I was able to survive and pass through the fire because there was this popular musician of Melony who once sang a celebrated song that if you catch hell, don't hold it, and if you're going to hell, you don't stop, you go ahead. And I thank God that I went through the hell, I did not stop there, and passed through the hell, and today I'm happy to share the story, even though it's a pathetic and sorry story, but I always tell my story to motivate people out there that if I can come out of this predicament, this trauma, then people out there too can learn from our story and be motivated to live a positive life. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. Now, there's a dimension to this story that I'm just hearing today. I won't go into that aspect yet. I just first want to say, because there's no way I can share your story and not talk about peace, especially at a time like this in Nigeria, where all we're clamoring for is peace to reign between the North and the South, between the Christians and the Muslims, as well as the traditional religion practitioners. So, having said that, I'd like to pick on something you said. You said when they came shouting Allah Akbar, because one of the major concern or trigger for them was the Southerners who were doing well, were thriving. So how would you describe thriving in the North?
Yeah, traveling with the world is when you are not a Northerner and by the grace of God you are able to storm the weather, that you're able to set up a business that's flourishing. Yeah, you know what to do? Maybe you have cars, big houses, and all of that, and you have business, you have employees, and you see that you're doing well.
So how's the relationship also between the Southerners who are living in the North and the natives of the different areas that they've settled?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that the whole thing degenerated to what we are seeing today. But I mean, from the beginning, when we were growing up, the relationship was very cordial. You can hardly tell if it's a Muslim or a Christian. During Christmas, we take food out to Muslims, they eat it, they collect it. During Salah, they bring meats and other things for us to accept. And I mean, you can hardly differentiate because we play together at the playgrounds, schools, we have the same class, all of that.
So can you differentiate, or can you particularly point out the moment that you think that all of these things changed?
Yeah, I will anchor it on two things. Our political climate in Nigeria and most of our cleric teachers. After some times, the teachings of God was deviated from the real teaching of God to selfish teaching. Because I could remember there was a time I was passing through a place this imam was having children, teaching them about Quran and all of that. And honestly, I was disappointed when he was telling them that as a Muslim, you have to rise against any Westerner you see. You have to be against Americans, you have to be against Israelites. So I was like, what kind of teaching is this? And these are young boys that are innocent, they don't know anything. Whatever you teach them is what they will go with. Unfortunately, that's how the whole thing started. Before the advent of the Boko Haram, that's what we saw. Unfortunately, religious leaders and traditional leaders are not doing enough. Because when we hear of uprising, maybe related to religious practice, what we expect to see the religious leaders and the traditional leaders to come up and condemn it and say, oh no, this is not Islamic, this is not Christian. But unfortunately, they kept quiet and the whole thing started hitting up. And today, it's very difficult to even overcome this menace that has come to stay with us.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. So, all of this that you've shared is to lay a foundation for where I'm going. You've shared a very gory, personal, at the same time, beautiful story. Now, why will I call that story beautiful? Because you have lived today to share it. So, when on the 20th of February 2006, the occurrence happened, what were the series of events that will take place after then to now lead you to where you are today?
Yeah, thank you very much. After the incident of 20th February, it was a big battle within myself, in my heart, and my soul. It was three options presented before me. In order to accept what had happened to me and become dejected, probably maybe even run mad or something. And then, secondly, is, oh, this has happened. Maybe I should move on. And thirdly, is, I think I should just maybe take revenge. But I was able to shut off the enemy call of the revenge. I was able to overcome the trauma and threatened by suicidal thought. So I choose to put the bitter part behind me and forge ahead with my life. And it wasn't easy anyway, but I was able to tap on anchors of God's providence. And I was able to build resilience, and I was able to do the most powerful thing to do on earth, to forgive the perpetrators of the evil act, so that I can be forgiven and I can forgive myself to move. And that's what I was able to do. And that was what gave birth to my organization, the Triade Peace Foundation. Because after I've overcome the suicidal thought, I was able to forgive and thought to myself that I should live a positive life after the incident. So I put up the Triade Peace Foundation. The Triade means try Adepoju. That's the three Adepoju that were killed in the incident.
So there were three Adepoju.
My mother, my elder brother, and the first one, our second one, and my kid sister. They were all killed and burned to ashes. Let me tell you this. On that day, when they marched everybody, they set the house on fire. They expected everybody to burn in the house. Luckily, I don't know where the strength came. Even though I lost every blood in me, I thought I should be there to do it. I talked to God that please spare my life to live to tell these stories. I can inspire people. I don't know how it happened, but I was able to run out of the house because the inferno was so large and I ran. They chased me where I was running from. I saw a house by the left, I didn't enter. Another house, I didn't enter. Like the fourth house, I just entered. When I entered the house, there are four rooms there. The first, second, third, fourth. I just entered the third room and hid myself. I just like on the flat and everything. I was just lifeless anyway. But those boys that came chasing me just stopped at the gate of that house. And I don't know where that angel appeared. A small girl just appeared and said, is it that boy you're looking for? Just jump over the fence. That's how they ran again. That's how my life today.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I have always thought that your story was just that of, yes, they came to kill, to destroy, and cut away whatever was there to be taken away. But they actually did.
They did actually.
Can you share that?
Yeah, because there are cars inside. They could not drive any of the cars out anyway. And we have stock of flour for the bakery, a lot of things anyway. Because in fact, let me tell you this: the first set of guys that came after they broke into the house, they started the meetings. Because I saw where people were struggling with TV, the computer, bag of flour, bag of sugar, all of that. After they left, we thought that was the end. We were saving the woman, we were telling them that I hope they will not come back. Unfortunately, a few minutes later, they still came back. And they could not see anything to see again. They want to enter the room where we are hiding and excuse me, they're able to again enter. That's how they killed. Very unfortunate.
Do you think we can achieve love again? The kind of love that you saw in the North when you were growing up?
Yes, honestly, like the theme of my NGO, Peace is Possible in Nigeria, honestly, we can achieve it if our leaders, our religious leaders and the traditional leaders can always come together to voice out and condemn evil. Honestly, we will achieve it.
So you have done a lot of work after this incident in the same Bauchi state where the horrible experience and event of 2006 occurred. And it's so amazing to know that you still went back to the same place to teach, to inspire. And that has actually won you a lot of awards. As I know that you're a peace ambassador. But can you share with me why, even though you chose to forgive, you couldn't just like run away to Oyo, Oshun, and go there and go and start your Peace Foundation? Why did you stay in Bauchi State?
Because on that fateful day, after I was taken to the hospital around 8 p.m. at night, some of those boys that came realized that I was alive, and they know that I saw some of them and I could, turn them to security. So they came to the hospital that night. Unfortunately, I was lying on the floor, lifeless, and they went to the wards, and I think they killed some people that day. So I just thank God for my pastor then, through divine intervention, just came to the hospital the following day and took us to a private hospital in Jos to recuperate. And even at Jos, I learned that some people still went to loot. That's just University Teaching Hospital. They thought that's where you were, just to silence.
So your case looked like a very particular case. It looked like it was a vendetta. Was there any pre-clash between you or your family and the environment where you lived?
Yeah, there was not any incidents prior that time. I think the only thing was just because they realized that I was alive. I was very active, and they know that this man, if he comes back, is going to get after them and probably to not end well with them. So they wanted to silence me. After the incident, I got to the foundation, like I said earlier, and I was promoting peace. I was going to communities, going to schools to make sure that these young ones that are coming up have this knowledge of basic peace building and how to love, to tolerate, to accept and understand our differences and all of that. I never knew some of my work that I was posting online. People were saying it, and I just don't know. I was just nominated for an award in Canada. So fortunately, I was the first Nigerian peace laureate from the Public Peace Award from Canada. And when the award came, I just we're in Abuja, and not quite long. My wife was to visit dad in Bauchi State from Abuja with my kids, and the call we got next was kidnapped. I was like, oh, what happened again? I mean, what the hell is this happening in this country? And am I going to survive this again? And luckily, we were able to get them back that day. We got them back. But what they told us was, your husband is promoting peace despite what happened to him. We thought you should have kept quiet and just accept his fate. He's not dying, he's not committing suicide. He's just lying low and live his life. All of a sudden, it's award again, international recognition, all of that. I just thought, oh, what's all of this? But I thank God we were able to survive that. And it was another trauma again for my wife, because she experienced the one that happened in Bauchi 2006. Another one again with her kids. Are we going to survive ever in this country? But because of my positive and resolute heart that Nigeria is going to be good one day, peace is possible and we can always achieve it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So my very last activity on the show today, we're going to make a toast. You're my first guest.
Oh, wow.
And yes, we're just going to have to make a toast.
Yeah,
wow, this is beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah,
and of course, your cup of tea becomes my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And that's how we can get a peaceful Nigeria again.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you
very much.
And that's my story. And that's my cup of tea.
Thank you for watching. That's my cup of tea today. Timothy Adepoju has been able to share his story, and I hope that you've learned a thing or two from there. Now, Timothy was faced with a situation where he had to choose between going back to retaliate the wrong that was done to him and his family, or to literally commit suicide, and the other one, to forgive and live the kind of life he's living today. I hope when you are at such crossroads, you will be like Timothy. My name is Melony Ishola. Thank you for watching. This is my cup of tea.